Let's ditch the brushes and get some easy creepy veins. Now, whether you're just not great at painting veins or you just don't have the time to really get that layered look you want, this easy trick will get you those creepy detailed looking veins, and there's no makeup required. Traditionally done with silk threads, this technique has been used to create the veining and fake eyes for ages. But it's also effective on skin. You'll want to have some yarn of the color of your liking. Here's a few great reds, but really you can do this in any color your heart desires. Years ago, I was able to get this double color. This one is discontinued. I'm sure there is something similar to this out there if you want that dual color also. You want to start with unraveling pieces of the yarn. The more you pull it apart, the softer the veining is going to look. I like to do a little bit at a time so I don't end up with this fluffy pile of chaos. Now you can apply these to the skin with FX adhesives like Spirit Gum, Beta Bond, or Pros-Aid. Beta Bond is my favorite method, but then there's more work to get it off the skin, which after a night of Halloween partying is probably something you don't want to have to deal with. So we're gonna try easier methods for fast removal. So first we're gonna try a glue stick, since it washes off easy and a lot of people might have this laying around their house. I gotta say, it really doesn't grab the yarn that great. Working in sections, creating branches, and adding more glue to the ends to try to help it stick. It looks decent. It's just really not glued down very well, and I feel like it could accidentally be rubbed off pretty quickly. Now lash glue, this did grab it a little better. Again, I still feel like the yarn is floating over the skin and might come off too easy. Both of these methods do work, but here you can see what I'm talking about when I'm saying it looks like it's floating over the skin. I personally prefer it better stuck to the skin. Now I'm gonna do latex. The technique I'm gonna use can be done with lash glue. So especially if you use the latex free version, you can apply it similar to how I'm going to be applying the latex, but just know you're gonna go through a lot of lash glue this way. Now, hands down, the easiest way to apply this is with the FX glues. The latex just isn't very sticky to start with. Sometimes you can take one long piece and pull it apart and create the different branching. We'll have to fight it at times. Add some latex on top. That's gonna help to really glue it down, and I'm able to manipulate it better. The crimp in the yarn gives it a nice little organic look, so I do like to keep those little wiggles in the branches. I did have to swap out the cotton swabs here and there because they will get kind of caked up with the little fuzzies and it will start pulling off the pieces you're working on. Now you can try to get this down as one long piece, or you can go in with smaller bits and create those extra branchings. It's really whatever works for you. So depending on the character, you might want to keep the denser looking veins versus just kind of going crazy and keep layering to look really diseased and sickly. When building this up, you're gonna find that the more you add, the cooler it's just gonna start to look. And it also gets really effective if you use different thicknesses of yarn. So even if you have patches of almost fuzz, it gives it kind of a capillary look, which I think is pretty neat. Even if they're not natural vein colors, you could really have some fun depending on your character. Gonna add a little shading just to look a little more sickly. Some contact lenses and mouth effects is gonna bring it to the next level. Also, this veining technique works great on prosthetics. The best part of the latex is you can peel it off easy at the end of the night. You can also create cool vein effects that are latex free and juicier than these yarn veins. So be sure to click the next video and see how those are made.